There it is.
Yeah, usually you just gotta give it a sec. Okay.
All right, we're back. Had a little technical difficulties there. Appreciate students stopping by to give his knowledge on what's been going on with these helmets and the uniforms, these rivalry uniforms. I am intrigued by all of them that are being teased by every team. I kind of, did you ever like the color rush? Did you like the color rush?
Yes, I do. I love the color rush jerseys, and I love them especially with the way they wore it last year with the red jersey and the white pants.
Yeah,
It was actually really clean. Definitely liked it.
I even missed the mustard yellows from the Jags. I just
Oh, okay.
it was
No,
just something totally different. So that's what made it
those are clean actually,
interesting.
with like the gold on the back of the helmet too, with the black helmet. Yes, those are nice.
All right, so back to where we were at. We're talking about the strengths of this team. We have the depth chart still up here. James Cook, he surprisingly, I thought he was not going to show up at camp whenever it started. And I mean, him being there is great. I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily the end of the contract discussions or the contract beef that he has with the Buffalo Bills, but he is there. They do have Khalil Shakir. And I mean, we've talked about this. These are all players that we've talked about. Just looking at some of the numbers, some of the more advanced analytics are, not your topical statistics. They were second in EPA per play last year. They were first in EPA per play when using any pre-snap motion in this offense.
Oh my goodness.
So whenever they were moving around, it always ended up being good for the Buffalo Bills. They were second in points per drive and 10th in success rate. I thought that was kind of low, but I think it's a lot to do with the possibly relying on explosive plays. I don't know. What you think?
See, now that's kind of weird because that's something that the Bills kind of went away from last year, was the explosive plays. You didn't see Josh Allen throwing the ball downfield as much. They were working underneath. Josh Allen's going through his reads. He was taking a lot of checkdowns to James Cook, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, and even Khalil Shakir sometimes in the slot, obviously where he plays, and curl routes and everything like that. So that's strange. I thought for sure they would
I know. I looked at it again. I was like, man, what? I don't know, but whatever. Most of the numbers are in support of them being the number one or top three offense, no matter what you look at. On the defensive side of the ball, they have stars. I talked about the Chiefs a while ago and their ability. I mean, their strength is just a great strength in the fact that they have Patrick Mahomes to carry this team, and they have some good names. They have Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, Trent McDuffie. But I mean, the Bills have that. They have stars as well. They have Christian Benford. I mean, who's the best player on this defense in your mind, like at their position?
Ooh, I would say Christian Benford, but I'm gonna give you a sneaky one because he missed a few games last year, and you noticed it. He missed week, I believe it was week 3 against Baltimore. It's Terrell Bernard, our middle linebacker.
Oh, wow.
He's kind of the heart of our defense, and when we don't have him out there, defenses can just go up, offenses can just go up and down the field. Honestly, it's crazy how much of an impact one player makes. But he's our signal caller. He has the green dot, and he's just a guy who's always flying around making plays. And overall, just a pure good football player. And that's something I've said too, is the Bills might not have the best players. They might not have at each position. They might not be top 10. But they just have good football players, and they are stacked. They have good depth.
For sure. Another strength of this team is the offensive line. That main group of 5 players played over 800 snaps together last year, which was, I mean, that's an insane number.
It is. Knock on wood, man. They can continue to do that. I know it's kind of unrealistic, within the sport that they play, but they can be 95% of that, 80% of that. It's just stay on the field.
Yeah.
Got any injuries? Get them out of the way now while you're in training camp.
I mean, health is such a, I mean, we all know this, but it's such a strong component of how your season goes. I mean, we saw what happened with the Detroit Lions, who could have,
yes.
I mean, I think they could have easily won the Super Bowl if their defense stays half as healthy as it did. I mean, they had, I want to say it was they were 32nd in adjusted games lost due to injury last year on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, they lost so many names. So you just hope that doesn't happen to the Buffalo Bills. I mean, had some injuries, but you just hope they stay healthy for the majority of the season. Because, I mean, that's what makes or breaks Super Bowl runs, honestly.
Yes, it is.
But that's I mean, their strengths, we know their strengths. Their weaknesses, I had a hard time trying to find what their true weakness was.
I can actually tell you one.
I found third downs. Third downs.
Yes.
Yep. They were 30th in EPA per play on third down and 29th in success rate. So, I mean, that was the issue. I mean, how do you think they addressed that to try to improve to get, 20th, 15th this year?
It's crazy. If the Bills, our opponent, it's 3rd and 3. We have all the confidence in the world, but somehow on 3rd and 15, they'll find a way to convert a first down. We saw it against the Rams. Puka Nacua on 3rd and 7 to end the game. We couldn't stop it. 39 in the AFC Championship game, the final play of the game. Couldn't stop it. It's weird. I think the best how you get better at it is what the Bills have done, and that is build your trenches, especially that defensive line.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Because if you have a good defensive line, it's gonna help out everybody else on your back 7.
Yeah. I honestly think that the defense, the offense is good as is, but for them to get to the Super Bowl, it's going to have to be a change on the defense. Like, the defense has to improve. I think it's as simple as that for them to get to the Super Bowl.
I agree. And, they put up 29 points in the AFC Championship game last year, but somehow it's going to come back to Josh Allen can't beat the Chiefs. Why? Because he's at the helm. But if you take a deeper dive, back to the 13-second game, 13 seconds away, just don't allow them to get into field goal range. Defense allows it. You saw it against, they played significantly well in the second half against the Bengals, but in the first half against the Bengals in the division round, they had no answer. Even in the wild card game against Houston and Josh Allen's first playoff appearance, that second half, they could not stop Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a trend, and I do agree if the Bills want to make a Super Bowl run, it's going to have to be the defense stepping up. It seems like they step up just fine against Baltimore for whatever reason. One of the if not the best roster in football.
Yeah.
But they can't beat the Chiefs. They can't stop the Chiefs, which they do just fine in the regular season. They just beat them. I think it was 30-21.
Mm-hmm.
They held in 21 points. What changes in the playoffs? What makes?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And you have a defensive-minded head coach who has been to a Super Bowl.
Yep. All right, now we're gonna get into just look at their schedule. We don't have to discuss each game. Like, we're just I like when I do the schedule, I like to just go through just as a topical view. This should be a winnable game. It might be a toss-up, or no, they're not going to win it type thing, and just get a rough estimate of games or of wins. So they have the 9th easiest schedule this year, 46.7% opponent win percentage. That's crazy because, all right, so whenever they make the schedule, correct me if I'm wrong, the division winners, don't they play the division winners from prior years?
Yes, they do. And I think what's weird about that is the Bills, if you look at their schedule right now on the screen, all their tough games are at home besides Houston. All the division winners are at home. We even get Cincinnati and Baltimore at home. What are the chances of that? You Kansas City at home in Philly. You couldn't ask for a better schedule. We went 10-0 last year at home.
And then I guess, the reason that it's the 9th easiest schedule is they have these cakewalks of games. Like the other teams that are not against division winners, you have the Jets, you have the Saints, you have the Patriots twice, and then you have the Browns. This and the Panthers. So they're playing the NFC South. So that a lot of this plays into that calculation of them ended up with the 9th easiest schedule. But they also travel the second fewest miles of any team this year, just over 10,000. I want to say, is it the Chargers that had the most? It was 30,000 or something miles. So it's it's a third of the total distance of the team who has the most miles to travel. A huge, huge change.
Yes, thank goodness. And thankfully, we don't have no international games. Us, you're part of Bill's Mafia. We do not like international games. Because of what happened, 2 years ago with Matt Milano and Daquan Jones.
Oh, yeah.
We're fine on those.
So week 1, they have the Ravens. Right now it's a toss-up. 60-40 one team, maybe. I don't know.
50.
I really don't know which way to call it. I don't think anything would surprise me. We saw the blowout last year, and it didn't mean anything once we got to the postseason. So whatever happens, it's not going to change the fate of either team's season.
No, it's week 1. Week 1, some people go to wire, but whoever wins between both fan bases is going to be it's the truth.
Oh, so, yeah. It's going to be, they're going to be hearing it. The other fan base is going to hear it until they meet in the playoffs, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Week 2, New York Jets, don't matter home way. That's a winnable. They should win that. Week 3, I'm going to tell you my opinion. You tell me if you disagree. with how I think if they win or lose on these games. Week 3, Miami, they should honestly sweep the division, in my opinion. They should. Will they? I don't know, but they should. So win against Miami on Thursday Night Football. Week 4, New Orleans. It could be me at quarterback at that point. So it doesn't really matter. There's no way the Saints are competing with them. Week 5, Sunday Night Football against the Patriots. Another win. Atlanta, Monday Night Football. They should win that. I mean, if they beat the Ravens, they could go into the bye undefeated and then come out of the bye against the Panthers, winning that game and start 7-0. And it wouldn't be that far-fetched, honestly.
No, it's not. That's your toughest game in that stretch. And Sean McDermott is undefeated coming off the bye week. That's why Bills fans have been clamoring for the 1 seed.
Yeah, I mean, all right, let's say, so are we in agreement that they win? All right, let's say they split Ravens and Chiefs. Say they go 1-1 in those games.
Okay.
And they win every other game up until week 11. Do you agree? That would put them at
that's realistic. Yeah. Was that 9-1?
8-1 because they had the bye week. That would be 10 games. So 8-1 going into week 11. They can't win every game. So let's say they split between the Bucs and the Texans. Those are 2 potential top 10 teams in the NFL.
Yes.
So we're looking at Houston. So we're 9-2.
Yeah.
Steelers, Aaron Rodgers doesn't do it for me at this point. I mean,
no.
That's 10-2. Bengals, their defense, they did get Shamar Stewart back finally. They did finally sign him, but Trey Hendrickson, I mean, I don't know if they're going to extend him. I don't know. So it's a winnable game for sure because that defense is not going to be able to stop Buffalo at all. And then they end the season against New England, a win, should be a win. Browns should be a win. Eagles, depends on who's playing for the number 1 seed by week 17. And then the Jets, again, they should win it if they have to play their starters. But I mean, you look at this whole schedule, and there's a potential of 14-3.
Yes, and that's actually what I have. I have a ceiling of 14-3, a floor of 12-5.
Yeah, I mean, this schedule is just too easy, barring some Josh Allen injury, for them to go. I mean, even if you went extreme, 11-6 would be an extreme floor to me. Yes. And that's still winning the division. It's still
still winning the division, right? Yeah.
But I mean, it's just this schedule is. I mean, when you compared it, hold on, let me bring up the Chiefs schedule, comparing them. All right, so the Bills, let me go back. The Bills play like strong teams. They have the Ravens, the Chiefs, Texans, Bucks. I'm not even going to count the Bengals, and the Eagles. So just 4 or 5 really tough games. When you look at the Chiefs, their division is ridiculous. I mean, Las Vegas is the worst team, arguably. But they have the Chargers and the Broncos, both who made the playoffs last year. That's 4 games there. Then they play the Eagles, the Ravens, the Lions, the Commanders. I
didn't see the Detroit. Oh, my goodness.
The Texans and the Bills. Ooh. Their schedule is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And I like the point that you brought up right before I came on was the fact that, they are going to, digress in the one score. I believe you said they were, 10-0?
10-0 last year in one score games. No. I mean 6-4, 7-3, and then, they're not the 1 seed.
Right.
So 14-3 is very realistic, I think, for this team. But so like I did with the Chiefs and with every other team, I go through and look at the best odds for the award races, and this was as of the last 2 or 3 days. So Josh Allen is tied for the best. I want to say it was with Lamar Jackson. Plus 550 was the last I seen, so it's going to be roughly that. It might change a little bit each day. For MVP, he's also had the best odds on the team for Offensive Player of the Year at plus 4,000. I mean, there's nobody on this team that's gonna get the ball as a wide receiver enough to be Offensive Player of the Year. James Cook, I don't think is gonna get enough play. Josh Allen does too much for James Cook to take over games.
Right. He's not our bell cow like what you guys have in Derrick Henry or what the Eagles have in Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Defensive Player of the Year, Greg Rousseau was the number 1 at plus 10,000.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I looked it up because I was looking and I could not find Christian Benford, and he is unlisted on most sports books.
Really?
Yeah, and it was, I think one of them I saw like plus 20,000 somewhere. Like I just Googled it or something. But it was crazy. I thought he may have been the number one, but he was not. And I I went through the list and I looked up and down. And it was Greg Russo. Offensive rookie of the year. There was no one listed. I mean, they don't have anyone of note.
Caden Prather, the guy we took in the 7th round, had a good catch percentage. Yeah, we didn't take any, offensive rookies.
Maxwell Hairston was best the defensive rookie of the year plus 3,000. I mean, I think that's reasonable. I mean, he comes in. He's a lockdown defender. I mean, if he is out there, competing week in, week out, I mean, that's plus 3,000 is reasonable.
It is. I wouldn't be shocked if TJ Sanders, even if he makes an impact, if he's living up to the hype that he has so far in the first 3 days of training camp.
I want to say he was around plus 4,000. It was somewhere close to Maxwell's numbers, but I mean, with news that we're getting, I mean, like I said, I think these numbers were 2 days ago, and they may be even at this point. But for Coach of the Year, Sean McDermott plus 4,000. I mean, he's not winning Coach of the Year unless they go 16-1, 17-0. Like I don't foresee a storyline to come about for him to get that. Do you?
No, I don't, and it's a shame because I feel like there's been a few times where Sean McDermott should have won Coach of the Year, especially in 2020 when we won our division for the first time. It went to the AFC Championship game because that was the year nobody expected us to be where we were after that Hail Mary. I believe at that point we were 9-3, but people were like, okay, yeah, the year before, they lost in the wild card round. This team's young and on the rise. And we go to the AFC Championship game, and he doesn't win Coach of the Year, and now people expect it out of him. So now he's not going to have that.
I mean, we know this is a media-driven award. I mean,
correct.
The other ones are too, but this is like you have to have some storyline. It's basically like the most improved team. Is pretty much what happens.
Right. Yeah. So you get like a Ben Johnson in there now, or a Aaron Glenn with the Jets. Hopefully not.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast today, and since we're talking about the Bills with the AFC East, if something unforeseen were to happen to Josh Allen, which team do you think would have the best chance of winning the division out of the other three?
If Drake May plays like how he did in the second half of last year, I'm going to go with New England. I feel like the Jets don't have enough on offense with their bad offensive line. Miami's just a mess defensively, and if Tua stay on the field, unfortunately, that's a question.
Yeah.
So I would have to say New England.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that was the argument that they were making on the podcast I was listening to. It was like they have the biggest – if Drake May hits in year 2, I mean, the offense is still not great, but it is improved from last year. But if he improves and takes a second-year leap, I mean, I think the ceiling for the Patriots is easily higher than what it is for the Jets.
I agree, 1,000%.
Yeah. And the Dolphins, I mean, I feel like everyone's written them off at this point. Like, I mean, they have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and they're throwing – wide receiver screens over and over, which doesn't make sense, but that's another story.
They had their chance back 2 years ago when Buffalo went into Miami week 18 and took the division from them. I believe they had a 2-game lead, and they lost to you guys, which thank you for that. And, Miami, there's a joke with Bills fans and the Miami Dolphins. When it gets cold outside, the Miami Dolphins freeze. They go cold. They can't beat playoff teams.
Yeah.
They year in and year out with Mike McDaniels.
Yep. So I got a question for you. Like I usually give my answer, but who would be the most improved player candidate for you on this roster or group? It doesn't have to necessarily be one player.
As a group, I will say the safety room, especially if Cole Bishop takes that step forward, because last year you saw DeMar Hamlin take bad angles. He wasn't where he was supposed to be at times, but the most improved player, I'm going to give it to Dalton Kincaid. He has taken this offseason very seriously. And it's a big year for him. It's year 3. Usually this is when tight ends tend to break out. And I feel like this is a guy who can still catch the ball pretty well. He had a good catch percentage coming out of college. A good catch percentage last year. Dealt with that PCL injury last year. And I know Josh Allen said it, I believe it was 2 days ago, day 2 after camp. He said that Dalton Kincaid has put in a lot of work this offseason. And they got to continue to find a way to get him the ball, which I feel like the Bills did not do enough of last year. And if they can get him the ball, and I'm pretty sure after that, AFC Championship game on that 4th down, where the ball bounces right off his forearm for the final play offensively for the Bills, that's going to live with them. And I'm going to say Dalton Kincaid.
Okay. On the flip side of that, who is a drop-off candidate on this roster?
Daquan Jones.
Okay.
Defensive tackle. Yes. When I look at Daquan Jones, he's a guy who, 2 years ago was our one tech, and he played pretty well for us. Then he dealt with I believe he tore his rotator cuff. Then he came back, he was fine. Then last year he had sparks, played very well against New England late in the year. It did good thing for us last year, but now I believe he's going to be 33, 34 this year. And with the younger guys that we have, like Dwayne Carter that we drafted last year, now Larry Ogunjobi, TJ Sanders, Deion Walker, he might not get the playing time, which means that his stats are going to drop off. And with his age, Father Time's undefeated.
Yeah, you are correct. You are correct. Yeah. My X factor for this team, I mean, prior to this episode, I said it was Maxwell Hairston just because of the defense needed to take that next step to get over the hump, to get to the Super Bowl. But I'm kind of questioning myself after you've given me all this Trey White talk of what he's doing in camp.
Yes. Trey White.
Who do you have somebody else, or?
I'm gonna go with Matt Milano. He's a guy. The last 2 years, last year 2 years ago he fractured his fibula. Last year he tore his bicep in training camp. Didn't come back until week 11, week 12. Played pretty well against Detroit, but you saw that he was starting to find his rhythm come the playoffs, the wild card weekend against Denver. Then carried it on against you guys in Baltimore in the divisional round. And he's a guy where when he's on the field for us, he's making plays. And before he got hurt 2 years ago, people were talking about Matt Milano being on an all-pro level. And I feel like he still has a little bit of that. And that's my X factor. If Matt Milano can play well for us, it will go a long way.
For sure. I think we've already discussed what our outcome. I mean, we both agreed on 14-3, and I mean the floor. 11-6, 12-5 at worst. I mean, I don't think there's any scenario outside of an extreme injury of them not winning this division. I mean, they're the favorites for the reason. They have the best odds out of anybody for a reason. But I mean, it's I do for each team. I do like the best outcome, worst outcome, and my realistic outcome, or what I expect of these teams. And I feel like the best and the realistic are one and the same. I mean, like, I don't, there's not much variance. I mean, what they go 13-4 instead of 14-3. I mean, like I said, that, like I said, when I was talking about the Chiefs, like this is a 3-team race for the AFC. The Chiefs, I can't count them out no matter what their roster looks like until Mahomes is just not Mahomes anymore. And then you have the Bills and the Ravens. If it's not one of those three teams, I don't know what to say. Like, I would be extremely surprised.
Credit to that team then, because you survived a gauntlet.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, outside of those teams, outside of those three, who would be the dark horse that you would say?
That's a good question. I think it comes out of the AFC West. I look at a team like Denver.
Okay.
A team with Sean Payton, the second year of Bo Nix, and they added to their defense, which their defensive line already is very good. I'm sure you already covered that in the power rankings. Very underrated guys. I believe all of them had over 9 sacks last year, 8.5 sacks or 6.5 sacks, something like that. And they added Tulisfo Hufanga. I know I butchered that name. Former
Talanoa Hufanga, but yes.
Everybody
knows
him. And then they added Dre Greenlaw as well. And I felt like that's what they needed defensively to compete in the AFC West, especially going up against Kansas City. You need a defense. And with them having a good defensive line, they have the best corner in the NFL, and Pat Surtain. I don't know much about their safeties, but then with Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga. But then you also add Dre Greenlaw to the mix. I like
Jahdae Barron.
Yes, it's Barron. Yes, which they just drafted, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I agree. It could be them. They had, a top 3 defense last year, and then they just got better. They added 3 new starters. With Barron, Greenlaw, and Talanoa Hufanga. So, that's definitely a chance. I think mine, if I had to choose one, it would be the Houston Texans. And it's kind of the same argument. Their defense is top 5 as a floor. Yep. They were already great last year. They have so many superstar names with Will Anderson Jr., Danielle Hunter. They have Derek Stingley Jr., Jalen Petrie. Kamari Lassiter was great last year. Then they go get CJ Gardner Johnson from the Eagles. It's just like, it's ridiculous. But I think the way that they could easily be a dark horse is their offensive line cannot be any worse than what it was last year. And if their offensive line is the 18th best offensive line in the NFL, they have so much around outside of that offensive line group that is above average or great that they could be a dark horse team for me.
Right. No, that's actually a good one. Very good one.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But let's see. Let me bring up if anybody's joining us now. This is the rankings, my rankings so far. Are there any teams on here? This is gonna be the last thing we talk about, but are there any teams on here that you would really argue shouldn't be where they're at, that are just really in an extreme wrong place for you?
No, nothing really. I think you're pretty spot on, actually.
I was talking about it earlier. The only one I think about moving is like the Steelers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers could move them up a little bit, but I mean, are they better than the Cowboys? I don't think.
No.
I mean, the Dolphins, maybe. The Dolphins are just such a enigma, honestly.
Yeah, you can move them down. But yeah, no, you're pretty spot on, actually. There's nothing that'll be like, oh, wow. Like, wow. For example, wow, you have the Bears at 16. I have them at 9.
Yeah. No, I got you.
You're not far off at all.
Who do you, so excluding, if you had to go off my power rankings, who would you put at 1 and who would you put at 2 for the Eagles and the Ravens?
I'd put the Eagles at 1, just what they have done, the last few years.
Yeah.
And they added Saquon Barkley, best offensive line in football. Their defense, Howie Roseman always finds a way to find somebody. I'm sure he's going to do it again with this draft class. It's just that's this gold standard of the NFL.
Yep. No, I agree. We'll see where I put them next week. But I appreciate you joining me tonight, giving me your Bills insight on everything. Just let everybody know where they can find you at, on what your Twitter handle and everything is.
Yeah, my Twitter handle is Pat Bruckness. That's where I do all my social media work with Dude Champions. Make sure you check out Dude Champions as well. And you can catch me every Thursday, 8 Eastern, with me and my co-host Tommy Jambers. We talk all things Bills, and we cover some things around the NFL too. And I really appreciate you, Chase, for having me on.
For sure. All right. Until next week, where we finish the power rankings, and then you might see Pat on here on another episode coming up soon, because I'm gonna start ranking the positional groups, doing top 5, top 10 of these positional groups. So until then, catch you later.